City of Lincoln Park Mayor and Council to order. If everyone would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance of the flag, and which will be immediately followed by the invocation by Reverend Fred Harshbarger of Heart to Heart Ministry. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Is Reverend Harshbarger on the call? Okay, well, continue to bow your heads, and we have one that the ministers have prepared for us. God of wisdom, we seek your help today. Come and let your wisdom fall upon us, O Lord, as we gather for this meeting. Give us clarity so that we can effectively tackle each part of today's agenda, reveal problem areas, and show us the best solutions that will apply. Point our eyes to every positive outcome since our last meeting, and let these favorable results and developments encourage every heart in this room. Dear God, help us apply your wisdom as we decide on certain matters and make plans. This we pray in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, if we could have the roll, please.
Certainly. Councilpersons Dupre? Here. Higgins?
Here.
Kelsey?
Here.
Ross? Here. Salcido?
Here.
Tobin?
Here.
And Mayor Cox.
Here. Okay, under Mayor's remarks, I understand that the public hearing went well at 6:30. I had traffic concerns getting back, so I didn't make it back in time for the meeting, so I apologize for that, but I'm sure Carlos handled that quite well. Also, everyone, happy belated Father's Day for all the fathers that are out there. And then lastly, we had Lincoln County's Health Department issued an emergency declaration extending the electronic meetings, allowing bodies to have electronic meetings through the end of the year, actually, till December 31st. The emergency operations team's recommendation is that we continue on electronic meetings. Both the chiefs are stressing the idea of the fact of the variant.
We lost you. We lost you at one point. Sorry.
All right. Did we get the Father's Day?
Yes. Yes.
All right, we got Father's Day. But Wayne County Department of Health, I think it was Carol Ashbury, issued an emergency order extending electronic meetings for civic bodies through the end of December of this year, whereas it was going to expire at the end of June. The fire chief and the police chief are both in agreement with this, and the entire emergency operation team are maybe not until December, but through the next few months as we wait and see how this new variant is going to come that is supposed to be highly contagious. So we will get through this one way or the other, but we need to play it safe as this goes. So I think we'll look at reevaluating that in September. And I think that's all that I have for Mayor's comments. Again, I apologize for missing that public hearing, but I think 3 in 8 years is not too bad. But, all right. Going on to the consent agenda. Resolved that the following items listed under the consent agenda be approved as presented to the Mayor and City Council. 1, approve minutes regular meeting held June 7, 2021. 2, approve renewal annual used auto dealer's license. 3, approve renewal annual pawnbroker's licenses. 4, approve renewal annual secondhand dealer's licenses. 5, set study session ARPA funding. 6, set public hearing dangerous building board properties A1765 Fort Park, and B1755 Ford Boulevard.
So moved.
Support. Okay. It's been, do we have discussion?
Well, I would like to move number 6, please, to action items because I've got a couple questions.
Okay.
What is that item here?
That's the city attorney's asking what that item is. It's the set public hearings, dangerous building board.
That's not a matter, that can be brought up at another time. Let me go with the microphone.
Yes.
My concern, Your Honor, is that City Council will be acting in a quasi-judicial capacity to either affirm or reverse the order of the Dangerous Buildings Board that day. That's the procedure under the ordinance. There should be no prejudged discussion of it unless there's a question as to what the duties are of council, which is to listen to the evidence presented of the building department on behalf of the Dangerous Building Board and then render a decision as to whether the home should be, and I believe in that particular instance, is fixed, repaired, or demolished, which is the custom protocol. Acting in advance or discussing it in advance outside of that hearing would afford inadequate due process to any interested party, landowner, or any other citizen. So council has to remember, and that's one of the reasons I suggest they don't go to the Dangerous Buildings Board meetings, that they're acting as an appellate body. So I think it would be ill-advised to have an action item on that. Either you're going to set the public hearing or you're not, but your hands are more or less tied there. The ordinance requires it, Your Honor.
Yes, there is an item, though. There is an item on the agenda for that, and it's just moving it from the consent agenda to the action.
But there should be no discussion of it. Council, this is a pro forma action by council, either to set a hearing or not set a hearing. And there should be no discussion of the actual merits. That's why I'm cautioning you, and it seems to me that you can move it, and we've spent more time than we probably would have had you just moved it and put it there, but I'm going to advise against any discussion of the merits of either what the board did or of the demolition or non-demolition of that structure at the regular meeting. So it seems to me that it's at the right place on the consent agenda, but if council wishes to move it, you can move it. But please do not discuss the merits because you might not afford fundamental procedural due process to the landowner or any other party of interest.
Councilwoman Ross, you still want it as an action item?
I would, Your Honor.
Okay.
I'll visit it again then, Your Honor.
It only takes a request to have it moved to the action
That's all
item.
it takes.
Okay, so we're good?
So the resolution that we put in the minutes will read, resolve that the following items listed under the consent agenda, accepting item number 6 to be considered as the last action item, be approved as presented to Mayor and Council.
I'll move. Or we already have the mover and supporter.
We have a mover and
Yes,
supporter.
we have the mover and supporter. Is there anything further discussion-wise? If not, then clerk call the roll.
Councilpersons Tobin,
Yes.
Dupre,
Yes.
Higgins,
Yes.
Kelsey,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Salcido, Councilman Salcido,
He's there.
Frozen.
but I can't hear him.
He's frozen.
He's froze.
Yes.
There we go.
And Mayor Cards.
Yes. Okay. And moving on to our action items. First one has a cover letter from, looks like Hennessy Engineers. And as for information, as you're aware, our office has prepared a draft comprehensive project plan for submittal to the Michigan Department of Environmental, Great Lakes and Energy, or EGLE, to potentially obtain a drinking water revolving fund loan, a 20-year low-interest loan to replace lead and galvanized water services and water main along 12 locations throughout the city between 2022 and 2024, based on the new lead and copper rules enacted by EGLE in 2018. The projects selected are per the Water Capital Improvement Plan. Prior to the submittal of this project plan, Eagle requires that the project plan be available for general public to review and comment upon for at least 30 days, and a public hearing to be held at the end of the public comment period. The 30-day public comment period began May 18, 2021, and the notice of public hearing scheduled for June 21, 2021 during the regular city council meeting has been posted in the city newspaper of record. At the public hearing, per the requirements of Eagle, our office will provide a brief presentation summarizing the project plan and costs associated with the proposed project. Following our presentations, questions will be entertained from city council and the general public. And in addition to the public hearing, a resolution must be adopted by city council allowing our office to finalize the project plan and submit to Eagle, and to designate a representative from the city to authorize all necessary documents related to this loan program if the city is approved to proceed with this loan program. So, the resolution. Whereas the City of Lincoln Park wishes to proceed with improvements to its existing drinking water collection system, and whereas the City of Lincoln Park authorized Hennessy Engineers 13500 Reek Road, Southgate, Michigan 48195 under the supervision of Tiffany J. Newbig to prepare a project plan which recommends the construction of the drinking water system project consisting of the replacement of 200 lead and galvanized water service lines from the main to 18 inches inside the building for all properties along 12 water main replacement routes, with construction beginning in 2022 through 2024, and submitted to the Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy on July 1, 2021, and formally adopted, will be funded through Michigan's Drinking Water Revolving Fund Loan Program. And whereas said project plan was made available for the public review and comment from May 18, 2021 through June 21, 2021, and was presented at a public hearing held on June 21, 2021, and all public comments have been considered and addressed. Now therefore be it resolved that the City of Lincoln Park formally adopts said project plan and agrees to implement the selected alternative lead service line replacements, water main replacements, and water main looping projects. Be it further resolved that the Director of Public Services, a position currently held by Mr. John Kazoo, is designated as the authorized representative for all activities associated with the project referenced above, including the submittal of said project plan as the first step in applying the State of Michigan for a drinking water state revolving fund loan to assist in the implementation of the selected alternative. Okay.
So moved.
Support.
All right. Going into discussion.
Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
I just have, it's not really a question, it's a statement, more for the people at home. This is another unfunded state mandate that the city council has no choice but to do, and put the money and paying for it on the back of our taxpayers, which is not supposed to happen. But I'm just pointing it out. This is another unfunded mandate from the state.
Okay, sir. Is there further discussion?
I have a statement also. I'm very uncomfortable with not knowing exactly where we're going to pay from this from, if it's going to come from the money from the government. I think that it's not showing our best interest to not have definite, solid answers of how this is going to be taken and paid for. And that's what I have to say.
Okay. Further discussion?
Through the chair, Your Honor, if I could.
Yes, go ahead.
We're getting into and I'm speaking on this, we seem to be doing a lot of 20-year loans lately, and I'm just saying that, you know, it's getting to be, we're going to have a large liability into our next generations for these loans. And I just think we need to take a better look at when we do these projects, especially this one, that we go these 20-year loans and see if there's another way, because I think we've got quite a few 20-year loans out there. I mean, we have the road. Anyways, that's my statement. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, further discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Kelsey,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Dupre,
Yes.
Higgins,
Yes.
Salcido,
Yes.
Tobin,
Yes.
and Mayor Cox.
Yes. Next item we have has a cover letter from our city manager, James Grzan. Beginning in 2019, the City of Lincoln Park and the City of Melvindale created a joint assessing department with Robert Brazeau as the assessor. This arrangement has been working well for both communities. The contract for Mr. Brazeau is set to expire at the end of June, has submitted a proposal for an extension of the services. This extension includes a reduction in cost in a 5-year term. The City of Melvindale, during their June 16th meeting, has approved the contract extension. So our resolution is, whereas the cities of Lincoln Park and Melvindale have been operating under a shared services agreement for assessing services since 2019, and whereas the two cities have contracted with Robert Brazeau as their assessor, and this contract is set to expire on June 30, 2021, and whereas Mr. Brazeau has provided a proposal to continue to serve as the city's assessor at a reduced cost, be it resolved that mayor and city council accept the proposal from Mr. Brazeau, be it further resolved that the mayor is authorized to execute the extension.
So move.
So moved. Support.
Okay, do we have discussion?
Your Honor, if I could just make a quick comment.
Yes, go ahead.
I just remember us debating, way back when we were talking about assessing services and our choices that we had. And can I just say that I'm glad that Bob and his team are with us. That's all. Thank you.
Well, thank you. He has done, he and his team has done a terrific amount of work for us and has also discovered more money for us. So that's a good thing. Further discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Kelsey,
Yes.
Dupre,
Yes.
Higgins,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Salcido,
Yes. Am I still
Tobin,
A little bit.
Yes.
and Mayor Cards.
Yes. Okay. Then the next item is from our assessor, Mr. Brazeau. In background, parcel number 45-001-04-0116-000 belongs to Jose Zamora, who is the son of the owners of parcel 45-002-001-0114-002. Mr. Zamora has the deeds prepared to transfer ownership of the 10 feet of his parcel to his parents. Setbacks for the properties have been reviewed. So the resolution resolved that the mayor and council approve the lot split of the NLY 10-foot of lot number 116, including the adjacent vacated alley of parcel number 45-001-04-00, correction, dash 0116-000, 1321 Grant Avenue, AD 116, 117, 118, lots 116, 117, and 118, also with 1/2 adjacent vacated alley, Empire Heights, sub PC 455 L32 P63 WCR. Be it further resolved that the split parcel be combined with parcel number 45-001-04-0114-002, 1313 Grant Avenue. AD 11B 115 SLY, 10 feet of lot 114, also lot 115 Empire Heights, sub PC 455 L32 P63 WCR.
So moved.
Support.
Support.
Okay, do we have discussion?
Your Honor, I have a quick question
Okay.
that I would like Bob to clarify. Only because the adjacent alley is included with this. And I know that we've had a lot of houses bought and sold, and many people may not know that the utility easement still applies if you have those poles and wires in the back. So, Bob, could you please tell us more about that?
Sure. The big issue to remember, like you said, is there's still an easement. So you can put a fence around it, you know, you can put your garden in it, whatever. But the reality is, Edison still has the right to come in and fix the pole, deal with down wires, whatever. And if that happens to destroy your garden, bummer. But it is yours, and there are other advantages to having it. If you happen to have a parcel that doesn't have a garage, or you want to replace the garage with something bigger, this gives you a slightly larger footprint on your property. So that's an advantage. It makes your property bigger. You have the full bundle of rights except for that easement.
So you cannot build on the easement, though, right? And anything on that easement is really,
there are setbacks that you have to follow, and John Myers can probably tell you those a lot better than I can. But yeah, there's rules you have to follow.
right, okay. I just want to make sure that people were aware of that. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, is there further discussion? Then clerk call the roll.
Councilpersons Tobin,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Dupre,
Yes.
Higgins.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Did you
Yes.
say yes? Kelsey,
Yes.
Salcido,
Yes.
and Mayor Carnes.
Yes. The next item is also from our assessor. In background, reviewing the GIS parcel layers, the assessor's office discovered a portion of land that had been intended to be a road alongside a subdivision. The road would have run between Seacott and St. Cosma, now known as Southfield Roads. In reviewing the data, it was discerned that this unused roadway has been occupied by some adjacent property owners and left untouched by others. In order to divest itself of undeveloped property, the assessor's office recommends that the adjacent unused roadway land be split off and given by deed to each adjoining property owner. There are approximately 20 parcels affected. So the resolution is, whereas the city has an undeveloped road that is unused, whereas the property will never be able to be developed as a road and can be made available to the adjacent residential property owners. Be it resolved that the mayor and council split land from the undeveloped roadway, undeveloped road, and give it to the adjoining residential property owners at no cost.
So move.
Support.
Okay, we have
I'm sorry,
discussions.
who was the mover on that?
Councilman Higgins.
Councilman Higgins, okay.
Yeah.
I do have a question.
And he has a question. Go ahead and see if we can hear you.
Okay. My question is, on the does this make the property taxable when we hand it over to the citizens where it isn't now? And do the citizens have to agree to take the property, since that means their taxes are going up?
Yep, absolutely.
So the property is going to be taxable, but the citizens, we can't force it on them. They have to agree to take it.
Correct.
Okay.
Through the chair?
Yes, ma'am.
There's 20 lots or 20 properties involved in this. What if only half of them want to take it and the other half don't?
And we will have a kind of broken up piece of property that, again, is an unusable roadway.
And the city will still be responsible for the upkeep of those 20 that, say there's 20 that do not do it.
We haven't touched it ever.
Oh, okay.
I talked to John Kazoo, and DPS doesn't cut the grass. The adjoining property owners have for, well, almost a century.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
What are the sizes in feet for that, for the parcels?
At the normal depth and between 30 and 50 feet. Not very big. They're L-shaped.
Okay. All right, further discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Higgins,
Yes.
Dupre,
Yes.
Kelsey,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Salcido,
Yes.
Oben,
Yes.
and Mayor Carnes.
Yes. Next item has a cover letter from Doreen Christian, our Director of Community Planning and Development, Parks and Recreation. And information, the cement under Pavilion Number 2 at Youth Center Park near the basketball courts has cracked cement that is raised. With this being a trip hazard, we caution taped off the pavilion last year and do not run it out. We have recently transferred funds from the 42nd CDBG budget year into Parks and Recreation to do some improvements. Therefore, I would like to solicit bids to replace the cement with footings under Pavilion Number 2. And the resolution is, whereas Pavilion Number 2 at Youth Center Park has cracked and raised cement, whereas this condition poses a trip hazard to the park's visitors. Therefore, be it resolved that the Director of Parks and Recreation solicit bids for the replacement of the cement pad with footings under Pavilion Number 2 at Youth Center Park. Funds to come from 249-042-75506 Parks and Recreation.
So move.
Support.
Okay, we have discussion? All right. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Higgins,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Dupre,
Yes.
Kelsey,
Yes.
Salcido,
Yes.
Oben,
Yes.
and Mayor Carnes.
Yes. Next item we have is, has a cover letter from Carrie Kerher, City Clerk. Purpose of this request is to allow a new business to obtain an used auto dealer license for 2021. Applicants have complied with the code requirements per the building official and provided proof of insurance. All applicable fees are paid. So, resolved that a new business obtain an annual 2021 used auto dealer's license be approved for the following locations. Fortson Auto Sales Incorporated, 970 4th Street. Fees paid, application, insurance filed.
I'll move.
Support.
Okay, do we have discussion?
No.
Nice. John Myers, you on the call?
I am, Your Honor.
Has there been any issues with this business in the past, and as far as non-compliance?
Which business, sir?
The one that's going for the new auto license, renewal of Fortson Auto Sales, 970 4th Street.
970 4th Street has had about 3.5 years worth of difficulties. We shut them down when I first arrived, and they have now finalized the entire process, both with the special land use of the Planning Commission. They've got approval through the Hennessy Engineering and Wayne County for water retention, and they have now passed all their building inspections as of this spring. So for the first time in 3 years, they have the legal right to open according to our ordinances and zoning codes.
Okay, thank you, sir. Further discussion? Can clerk call the roll?
Councilpersons Ross,
Yes.
Dupre,
Yes.
Higgins,
Yes.
Kelsey,
Yes.
Salcido,
Yes.
Tobin,
Yes.
and Mayor Carnes.
Yes. Okay, then we will... Next item has a cover letter from Ray Waters, our Chief of Police. And as the Lincoln Park Police Department has no objection to proposed block party. And the resolution is resolved that the residents of the 500 block of Kings between River Drive and Electric be granted permission to have a block party on Saturday, June 26, 2021, from 3 p.m. until 9 p.m. under the following conditions. One, that the street be barricaded at each end and closed to vehicular traffic. Two, that the party be over by 9 p.m. or dusk, whichever comes first, and that the street be reopened to traffic, per the recommendation of the police department.
So move.
Or
Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Quick.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
did somebody have a question?
Yes, Your Honor, just a quick one. I'm sorry, I caught you at the end, I apologize. My question is, don't they usually have to do a survey? I didn't see it attached here of the participants or a majority of the people so they know that, you know, they're in a concurrence to it. I haven't seen it attached to this.
Was it not in the packet? I do have those for each of the next few items that are block party requests.
Okay, I just didn't see it on.
Jessica may not have thought to put them in the packet, but I do have them.
Yep.
Okay, that answers my question. Thank you, Your Honor.
Very good. Then, is there further discussion? Then clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Higgins,
Yes.
Tobin,
yes.
Dupre,
Yes.
Kelsey,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Salcido,
Yes.
and Mayor Cox.
Yes. Next item is resolved that the residents of the 1300 block of Merrill between Fort Park and Fort Street be granted permission to have a block party on Saturday, June 3rd, 2021, from 5 p.m. until 9 p.m. under the following conditions. One, that the street be barricaded at each end and closed to vehicular traffic. Two, that the party be over by 9 p.m. or dusk, whichever comes first, and the street be reopened to traffic, per the recommendation of the police department.
So move.
Support.
Discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Higgins,
Yes.
Tobin,
Yes.
Dupre,
Yes.
Kelsey,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Salcido,
Yes.
and Mayor Cox.
Yes. Next, we have resolved that the residents of the 1100 block of Chandler between Mill and Farnham be granted permission to have a block party on Saturday, July 31, 2021, from 3 p.m. until 8 p.m. under the following conditions. One, that the street be barricaded at each end and closed to vehicular traffic. Two, that the party be over by 9 p.m. or dusk, whichever comes first, and the street be reopened to traffic, per the recommendation of the police department.
So move.
Support.
Discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Higgins,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Dupre,
Yes.
Kelsey,
Yes.
Salcido,
Yes.
Tobin,
Yes.
and Mayor Cox.
Yes. And we also have resolved that the residents of the 1300 block of Chandler between Seacott and Russell be granted permission to have a block party on Saturday, June 26, 2021, from 11 a.m. until 9 p.m. under the following conditions. One, that the street be barricaded at each end and closed to vehicular traffic. Two, that the party be over by 9 p.m. or dusk, whichever comes first, and the street be reopened to traffic, per the recommendation of the police department.
So moved.
Support.
Support.
Okay, any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Dupre,
Yes.
Tobin,
Yes.
Higgins,
Yes.
I'm sorry,
You
Yes.
said yes.
okay, Kelsey,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Salcido,
Yes.
and Mayor Cox.
Yes. Okay, this next item was moved by Councilman Kelsey and supported by Councilwoman Ross. And it's resolved that a special meeting of the mayor and council be scheduled for Tuesday, July 6th, 2021 at 6:30 p.m. in the John A. Alwesi Council Chambers at City Hall, 1355 Southfield Road, Lincoln Park, regarding policing of traffic concerns. So is there discussion?
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Did you mention we cannot have meetings at council chambers earlier in your mayor comments, or did I hear you wrong?
Yeah, that would have to be a Zoom meeting, but it's scheduled.
Right.
It's scheduled for July 6, 2021. You're correct.
Via Zoom.
Via Zoom, yes.
Thank you.
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was just going to ask Councilman Kelsey if he was good with the 6th, because I thought he was going up north.
Yeah, I am. I'm going to be back. I didn't think I was going to make it back, but I'll work it out. I'll be back. Thank you.
Okay.
Your Honor, this is kind of come as an odd, is there any way we could have this meeting maybe at the band shell or something so that we could do it outside, so that we could invite the public? Because I think this is something the public should be invited to. The public has been asking questions about this, and I think that we should make every account allow them there.
Now, if you wanted to have a town hall meeting in the future, that would be something that would do. But my recommendation would be to keep the meeting the way that it is and have them call in. But
well, I didn't move it or support it.
okay.
So, but I'll leave it up to them. But
Your Honor, if I could.
Yes.
If we could just have city management make sure that it's posted on the Facebook, on the website, and that the residents, of course, are welcome. I think
Absolutely, but the residents are always welcome.
Well, that's what I mean.
And what I'm saying.
And maybe the TV channel as well. Because in all honesty, that was our concern. We wanted to make sure that there was resident participation.
Okay.
We'll promote it.
Thank you.
And there also is, in a discussion of this, there is another avenue that residents can speak to on policing matters, and that is the Public Safety Commission, which meets the third Monday of the month at 4 p.m. I mean, that's something that they could also call into and have their items addressed. But do we have further discussion? Okay, clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Kelsey,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Dupre,
Yes.
Higgins,
yes.
Salcido,
Yes.
Tobin,
Yes.
and Mayor Cox.
Yes, I'll go yes. Okay. So then we now go to the items that were taken off of the consent agenda, which were set public hearing for dangerous building board properties, A and B. So the first one, A, sure I got the right one here. Whereas the hearing board on dangerous buildings has made a finding and determination the structure located at 1765 Fort Park, case DBB 21-01, is a dangerous building under ordinance 1444, and issued its order that the structure be demolished immediately. Whereas pursuant to Chapter 1444 of the Lincoln Park Municipal Code, the Hearing Board on Dangerous Buildings has filed a report of its findings and a copy of its order with the council, and has requested the council to take necessary action to demolish this structure. And whereas the owners and/or other parties of interest have neglected to comply with said order and the subject structure has not been made safe or demolished. Now therefore be it resolved that pursuant to sections 1444.08 of the Lincoln Park Municipal Code, the council hereby establishes the date of June 21, 2021, or as soon as thereafter, as the ordinary order of council business shall permit, as the date and time for hearing to review the findings and order of said hearing board, at which hearing the owners or parties of interest shall be given the opportunity to show cause why the building should not be demolished, and the building superintendent is directed to give notice as required by ordinance to the owner of the parties of interest of such hearing date. Before we move on this, is that date correct? The
Can't be.
of the June 21st?
It can't be.
Yeah.
That was my issue with it too.
It would have
Okay.
to be, the earliest that it could be would be the July 6th meeting.
Correct.
Is that what you intended?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a week
It was-
behind presenting,
as
the
we
date is incorrect.
submitted
Council
that
can just
piece
move
to
that date.
the clerk's office. It was to be clarified that it would have to be a public hearing set after this meeting, which would be the earliest, would be July 6th.
Okay, and that was John Myers, our building official, that made the last comment. So is it should be July 6th, 2021?
Or as soon as the council chooses to set that public hearing.
Yes, but the date needs to be changed.
It's,
That is correct.
the wording of this resolution is supposed to, has traditionally been the date at 7:30 PM or as soon thereafter as the ordinary order of council business shall permit. So that if there's council business before it, it can be pushed back to like 7:45. There should be a time in there. It should say July 6th, 2021 at 7:30 PM.
Okay, Mr. Myers, are you okay with the resolution saying that?
I am.
With the time? Okay. So
Yeah.
the resolution has been corrected to show that July, I will reread the last paragraph. Now therefore be resolved that pursuant to 1444.08 of the Lincoln Park Municipal Code, the council hereby establishes the date of July 6, 2021. And what was the timing again, Carrie? I'm sorry.
At 7:30 PM.
At 7:30 PM or as soon thereafter as the ordinary order of council business shall permit, as the date and time for a hearing to review the findings of an order of said hearing board, at which hearings the owner or parties of interest shall be given the opportunity to show cause why the building should not be demolished. The building superintendent is directed to give notice as required by ordinance to the owner and parties of interest of such hearing date. I'll move on this. Okay, with discussion?
At 6:30 or 7:30?
7:30.
7:30.
7. Thank you.
It's usually part of the regular course of the meeting. We adjourn the meeting, we go into the public hearing, and then we go back to the meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Alrighty. Further discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Mayor Carnes?
Yes.
Councilpersons Ross?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Higgins?
Yes.
Kelsey?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
Tobin?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Then we will move on to our next one. Whereas the Hearing Board on Dangerous Buildings has made a finding and determination that the structure located at 17554 Boulevard, Lincoln Park, case number DBB19-06, is a dangerous building under ordinance 1444.07 and issued its order that the structure be fixed, made safe, or demolished. Whereas pursuant to Chapter 144.07 of the Lincoln Park Municipal Code, the Hearing Board on Dangerous Buildings has filed a report of its finding and a copy of its order with the council and has requested that the council take necessary action to demolish the structure. And whereas the owners and/or other parties of interest have neglected to comply with said order and the subject structure has not been made safe or demolished, now therefore be it resolved that pursuant to Section 1444.08 of the Lincoln Park Municipal Code, the council hereby establishes the date of July 6, 2021 at 7:30 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the ordinary order of the council business shall permit, as the date and time for a hearing to review the findings and order of said hearing board, at which hearings the owners or parties of interest shall be given the opportunity to show cause why the building should not be demolished. The building superintendent is directed to give notice as required by ordinance to the owner and parties of interest of such hearing date.
I'll move.
Support.
Okay, discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Ross,
Yes.
Tobin,
Yes.
Dupre,
Yes.
Higgins,
Yes.
Kelsey,
Yes.
Alcido,
Yes.
and Mayor Carnes.
Yes. All right, we now move into accounts and claims payable. We have, as we go through this, the MERS defined benefit check has been released for due date. So resolved that the accounts and claims payable for those items greater than $25,000 be approved as follows. DUA, June 2021 excess flow charges and April 2021 sewage user fees, $227,215.25. DTE Energy, May 2021 electric, gas, street, and traffic lights, $64,255.73. GV Cement 2021 concrete reconstruction program, $102,178.82. Hennessy Engineers Incorporated, General Consulting, Howard and Abbott Paving Project, and TPS roof replacement, River Drive reconstruction, Animal Shelter Addition, 2020 SRF Sewer Rehab Program, 2020 CDBG Concrete Street, 2020 Concrete Recon, 2021 Utility Pavement Replacement, Lafayette Water Main Relocation, 2021 Sanitary Sewer Lining, 2021 Concrete Sectioning, and 2021 Concrete Reconstruction, $103,564.73. McKenna, May 2021 Building Department Services Permits, $61,271.40. MERS, May 2021 Defined Benefit, $219,313.92. MERS Fiscal Year 2021 20/21 additional cash to ME pension per budget, $733,314. Water Tap Incorporated, 2021 Lafayette Water Main Relocation, $28,848.
So move.
Support.
All right, do we have discussion? Then clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Ross,
Yes.
Tobin,
Yes.
Dupre,
Yes.
Higgins,
Yes.
Kelsey,
Yes.
Salcido,
Yes.
and Mayor Carnes.
Yes. We've reached the time for the city manager's report. Mr. Grzan?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Just a couple items to note tonight. The first one being that the Ecourse Creek cleanup is coming up. And in fact, this year, the committee was able to secure funding to not only do one cleanup event, but actually do 3 over the course of the summer. So July 10th, August 14th, and September 11th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. It's going to be at the same 3 sites. I believe Beaver Park in Wyandotte, Council Point in Lincoln Park, and then Pepper Park in Ecourse. All 3 communities working together again good event. So look for information on signing up, getting involved. The committee is happy to have the elected officials involved. Come out and support the event. Another note, I believe most of you saw it, but there's some staff changes going on at Beckett and Rader. So our planner of record will be changing as Leah Dumichel is leaving the company, moving on to different adventures. So for the time being, her the person who had been working under her is going to be taking over. So we'll see that as it comes. I've heard from GFL, and at this point they should be back on track and caught up as far as picking up yard waste, picking up recycling, and garbage. And in fact, the route supervisor informed me that in general, if they're going to get behind on anything, it is going to be yard waste, because they're going to try and get the garbage and the recycling before the compost. But they should be caught up. But if people are having issues, they can always feel free to call either the management office here or DPS, or they could even go straight to GFL. Any of those options will work. And then lastly, just a quick note, we've been talking in the last couple weeks, the DPS vehicles. I believe that we should be getting our street sweepers back this week. They should be up and running, should be able to get back to cleaning up the streets. And then also the sewer Vector truck has returned and was out in full service today. So getting back on track there with vehicle repairs. So I'm happy to take any questions anybody may have for me tonight.
Mr. Krzan, as far as the street sweepers go, can we put a schedule out? I know that you have the dates, so like mine's supposed to be Monday afternoons, but so the residents can be aware. Can we let them know where they're going to be out sweeping?
Yeah, we'll get with the DPS and make sure we can get the information out.
Okay. Do we have questions for Mr. Krzan from council?
Yes, through the chair, Your Honor.
Council President, go ahead.
Yes, two questions. First is an update, rather. James, last 2 weeks ago I asked you about the telephone poles on Riverbank Street that were not removed. Thank you very much. They were removed the next day, so thank you very much. The residents were very happy with that. And my only question is, the new tree trimming company, how are we doing on tree trimming?
Well, I believe they don't start until July 1. But I think I'm not exactly sure where we're at as far as the list goes. I know we had a whole bunch of tree trims on the list, and we were trying to get our contractor to focus specifically on the trimming.
All right.
In the last couple weeks.
Thank you very much. I'll ask you on July 6th. Thank you very much.
Through the chair?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
James, I'm really happy to see that they are accepting bids to repair the pavilion number 2 at Youth Center Park. I was wondering if you had any chance to look into the trees that are being destroyed by insects, if there's anything being done or it's been looked into.
Yeah, okay. So I meant to send something out. I was speaking with Dennis Anderson about this at the end of last week. Apparently, because most of those trees in Gregory Park, if I'm not mistaken, they are oak trees. And this type of insect, while it will destroy the leaves on the oak trees will rebud. And what happens, I guess, and this is all coming from Dennis Anderson, our community center manager. So what happens is these moths will eat the leaves off the trees and basically eat to the point where there's no more food supply. And then a good chunk of these insects will die off. The trees will rebud, and then it takes a couple of years for this insect to repopulate. So it kind of becomes a cyclical thing. The trees should have no problems rebudding and staying healthy. It's just kind of like a blip on their on their little life cycle here. And I'll bet what you'll see when those trees end up, actually getting old and dying is you might end up seeing like a smaller ring for that year on the stump, right? Because they won't grow quite as much as they typically would. So you'll have a smaller ring, and you can probably go through and see, when you had years where it happened.
Okay.
Is that the gypsy moth, do you know?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. The gypsy moth is apparently more of a threat to the coniferous trees,
Okay.
like your pines and what have you.
There's I have this issue up north, and where I live, they actually spray for gypsy moths. Costs us a lot of money,
Yeah.
but one way to stop them is to go around the base of the tree or the part like 3-4 feet up, and put a big thing of tape around it, so they get up to the tape and they're stuck there, and it saves the leaves on the tree. That's something, if we've got some trees that are really damaged and we want to try to save some of them, that might be a good idea, is just get two-sided tape and put it there, and it stops them from going up any further. Just
It's
an
a
idea.
great solution.
Okay. Anything further for the city manager?
To the chair, if I may.
Yes,
please.
sir, go ahead.
James, just two things real quick. Do you need a motion or a resolution from the council to fix that video system of ours? I mean, the mayor keeps cutting in and out. I mean, this is getting old, and I think if there's a problem, we need to spend the money and fix it. I mean, I don't know about the rest of the council, but to me, it gets kind of old trying to listen to a meeting when it doesn't work right, and it's been that way for a while. So my first question, I guess, is do you need a resolution from the council to investigate that, James? Or
No, I can look into it.
Okay.
But I don't think it's so much a video issue as it is just general bandwidth.
Okay.
But it's definitely something we can look into, and whether it makes sense to spend, depending on the cost, right, to increase the bandwidth when we have, how many people are in the building right now on this exact Zoom call, when it's kind of, do you plan for max capacity or do you plan for max efficiency? So it would depend on the cost, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with that, but I think we've learned that things happen. Like we've been on the Zoom for over, a long time, over a year, close
Over a
to
year,
it.
yeah.
And we're going to continue. Like the mayor says, till September. And I think it just makes good sense. If we're going to stay in the city hall, it just makes good sense to fix it. We've piecemealed that system as long as I've been a councilman, and I think some of the council people who've been on there are aware of that. I think it's just time to take a good hard look at it and see what it takes to fix it. And if we're going to stay in that city hall for the foreseeable future, I think it just makes sense to fix it, because you never know. And I understand what you're saying, don't get me wrong, you don't want to spend exorbitant amount of money, but I think maybe we can just fix it with new technology or something, or somebody coming in who is aware of it, if you could look into it, and I appreciate it. The other thing is that, and I appreciate the communication that you have been given when I ask you a question, and I appreciate that very much. You take a lot of time and effort. But one of my questions is that we have quite a few 20-year loans out there, and quite a few long-term, like the bond. Can you get I don't know about the council, but I'd like to have a list of our liabilities for out in the future. 20 years is way past I'm going to be a councilman. And I think it's interesting if we keep improving these things, we start looking at the long-term effect of the city, because, not too long ago we had a problem where we had to have an emergency manager come in, and a lot of it was to do with the fiscal. So I appreciate if you could put together something, or Lisa, in a week or so. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like know where our long-time liabilities are. The road bond.
A lot of that information you'll find should be in our financial statement at the end of the fiscal year. We should have some stuff about our debt service and all of that. But kind of offhand right now, we've got 3 20-year bonds and loans that we can think of offhand right now. One's for the water meter project that was done.
Yep.
It's been a while now, so that one's getting close to the end. And then we've got 2 different SRF loans right now, the sewer revolving fund loans. So those are the 3 offhand, and then we obviously have a couple shorter term bonds on the roads that are being covered through the that millage, so that there's an actual revenue source for that. But I think that's it, and I'll look through the financial statements and try and get something out for you guys so you can see.
Well, I think before you came on board, we borrowed money from the sewer fund for the pension fund, I think, or somewhere along that. So that's still hanging out there. I think Lisa talked about that last time. So that's hanging out there. So there, like I said, we have I don't want to belittle it, but if you could just get me some information on all the different loans, because there's it seems like we're getting more than we should, and we have to do it because we have financial issues, but they're going to come to fruition somewhere along the line. So I appreciate it. And again, thank you, James, for all your communication. I appreciate it very much. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. And especially, I concur with the need for the better broadband, because we have special operations might have it. If there's an incident that takes place in the city, we probably have 10 people with laptops here, so we're going to need to be able to have it. Anything else for the city manager? Okay, then we will move on to department head report. Today we have the library director, the librarian, Nicole Kessler. Nicole? She was here.
She's here. She's talking, but we can't hear her.
Ah. Nicole, we're not receiving you, if you're hearing me.
You say whisper in the library.
She's not on mute.
We're still not picking up anything, Nicole.
She thinks what she is because she's going right ahead with her.
It's not muted.
No, it looks like she's trying to come back. Oh, I think she's calling in, so we'll give her a second. Nicole, are you on the call? We'll give her a second. I think as you log in, Nicole, there usually is a little highlight that comes on the computer that says use computer audio or call in, but you have to activate that.
Your Honor, would a motion be in order to allow citizens communications while she gets
Well, we don't need a resolution for that. We're working on that, and I'm
Talking about a motion.
yeah. Fine.
Motion to move on to citizen communication.
Well, I understand what you're saying, sir, but it's my meeting to run with this, and we're going to work this section off, have her recall in, and if it does not work, then as you say, we are going to go to citizen communication. But she is calling in now, so it should only take a moment.
All right.
Nicole, have you tried calling in just off of your cell? And James, are you letting her in, sir?
It hasn't come up.
Oh, Nick. Okay, Nicole, if you could try it one more time to call in.
Perhaps she has her volume turned down on her computer without realizing it.
I think that would work for the speakers, but not for the microphone itself. I don't think it would, anyway. I think it has to just to do when you're moving on. You didn't click the one cursor.
Yeah, the join audio. Yeah.
But if you're not familiar with it, I can understand how that happens. So I will give her just a moment here. And James, if you could be watching for her call-in attempts. Well, there's a positive sign. Okay, Nicole, are you with us now?
She doesn't appear to be connected to audio.
Well, it said it was connecting on when I saw it on the screen. To just give it a second to go through. I'll give it a minute. As we're waiting, James, if this isn't going to work out, if she has if she could prepare her report, then in a PowerPoint presentation, or just by writing out what she planned to say today, and then distribute it to council.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, Nicole.
Yes.
Welcome back.
Yes.
So go ahead, Nicole Kessler from the library.
I was using a different computer, and I guess it wasn't working.
Okay.
I'll start off by talking about the summer reading program. Registration for that begins next week, June 28th, and our program runs through August 6th.
because there are still some restrictions in place, or some families don't feel safe coming in because younger children can't be vaccinated yet, we're going to have a lot of crafts, and we're going to have a craft every week that the kids can take home and make with the full instructions. And then we're having one big in-person program on July 20th. That's a Tuesday at 2 p.m. That's a live animal program, because this summer's theme is Tales and Tales. So it's programming and books featuring animals. And kids are going to be eligible to win a lot of prizes and rewards for participating and turning in their reading log each week. And then we have programs open to the teens and adults as well. And then regarding the library hours, we are going to start expanding our hours starting on July 6th. So we are open to the public now. People can come in and sign up for limited computer time. It's limited to a half an hour, but they are able to come in and use our computer equipment. And also fax services and copying. We have a lot of new items added to the collection. So our new hours are going to start on July 6th. And courtesy of Ford Motor Company, they have donated air filters to the area libraries. So that will help filter out any germs that are coming in with the increased traffic. And I also wanted to take a minute to recognize Richard Duchesne. He was the president of the Friends of the Library program, and he recently passed away. And he was a member for many years and helped with a lot of the contributions to the library. And I also wanted to point out the Friends do have a need for new members. It is a small time commitment, but it's usually they meet for an hour or so once a month. But the funds that they raise go to fund library projects. They recently paid for some new shelving for the easy readers in the children's section. So they do bring a lot to our library, and they would appreciate increased support from members of the public. If you need more information, you can contact any of the library staff, and they can give you additional information on joining the Friends. We have seen increased circulation for our books, audio, video, and particularly ebooks. There's been another 30% increase in usage. And again, I apologize for the technical difficulties. Did anyone have any questions?
No, we did a little bit. We recognized Mr. Duchesne at a meeting a few weeks back for his service and everything. I'm sure that your friends of the library are going to be missing them. Yes. Nicole, just advise how one becomes a member of the Friends of the Library.
They would just have to fill out an application. We do have them available at the library, and it's $10 for a membership. That entitles you to early access for the Friends of the Library book sale, which in normal times they hold twice a year. They didn't hold one at all last year or this spring because of COVID, but they are looking at having one this October if things continue to go well.
Oh, very good. So do we have questions from council for our librarian?
Through the chair?
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
Nicole, when you say you're going to have new library hours on July the 6th, does that mean we're going back to regular hours? Or does it mean something else?
Well, yeah, we're going to be opened until 8 p.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays right now, because those are the days in which we have increased, we have more people coming into the library, and we are going to be opened on Saturdays from 10 to 5.
Oh, good. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything else for Nicole? Okay, Nicole, thank you. The summer reading program has always been a great one, and I'm glad to see it returning. Thank you for getting to talk to us here eventually.
Okay, well, I apologize for the
don't worry about that at all. It's just it happens all the time. All right, thank you. So then we will move on to citizen communications. Is there anyone that would like to address the? All right, James, if you would unmute. There we go, and go ahead, sir.
All right, Tim Rona, resident. I remember this time.
There you
Anyways, first off, I just want to say that after the last meeting, the next day, I received a phone call from James' office to set up a meeting in the afternoon, and we had a meeting, I think it was 1 o'clock or something, and with James and John Myers. I'm not going to discuss what was said into the meeting. It had to do with the 1755 Ford Boulevard. So I want to thank you for that. Also, I want to thank you for setting up the public hearing for on the 6th. We appreciate it. The neighborhood does. Gives us a chance to say something about it. One other thing I forgot to say last time, give recognition to our fire department. The chief and the sergeant showed up at my house. My wife is homebound, and they showed up and gave her the shot. You couldn't ask for better people to do it. They made her feel so comfortable, and we were worried about that. Just really up and up, and I think it's great. And my condolences to Duchesne, Mr. Duchesne. I know him as the good-looking Duchesne. So, yeah, he's going to be missed. Anyways, thank you for your time, and I'll see you on the 6th.
Very good. Is there anyone else?
Yes, hi, Leslie Lynch Wilson, Lincoln Park Farmers Market. Just want to remind everybody that the market has started. We're every Sunday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the southwest corner of 4th Street and Southfield Road in Lincoln Park. Come on out. We have farmers, especially food vendors, and we will have some crafters. It's a little early right now for Michigan produce, but as the season goes on, you'll be seeing more little by little each week. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else? Okay, hold on. Just, Ed, is your volume on?
Mine is off.
All right.
It might be someone else on screen that has.
Okay. Everybody, okay, we got rid of the,
I can't hear nobody right now.
okay, there, we got rid of the, whatever the echo was, so that's a good thing. Is there anyone else that, any other citizens that would like to make comment? All right, then we'll move into oral reports of the council and the mayor. Council President Salcido.
Thank you, Your Honor. You've been breaking up there. But anyway, I'll make it brief. The senior center, hopefully everybody can hear me. Hello, citizens of Lincoln Park. The senior center will be open for clubs Monday through Thursday, starting on Tuesday, July 6th, just so everybody knows. Also, this past Saturday, June 19th, I attended the 22nd annual Lincoln Park High School Alumni Scholarship Golf Outing held at Taylor Meadows in Taylor. I'll have more information at my next meeting in regards to how much they raised and how many scholarships they have provided in the last 22 years. Also, the Park Restaurant, Chesley's Bar and Grill, and McCaffrey's donated signs and baskets, which for the drawing, which was really nice. Give them a shout. Also, I was happy to see the renewal of the assessor's contract. Bob and the staff have been working hard. It's well deserving. Lastly, sharing Councilman Higgins' sentiments, and this has been brought up before, I believe the citizens should have a right to attend meetings. The band shell, we could, it'd be a great place, space people out, maybe just allow 20 people in, space them out. But it's, you know, today was a good example of the issues that we're having. I've had internet issues at home. I think they're rectified now, but I come up here to council chambers just to make sure that I can get through and not without disruption, and yet I'm still getting disrupted. So something's going to be looked into our system. Many residents have told me that they can't hear or it's distorted. So we really need to take a look at that. We owe it to our citizens to have meetings. So that's, I'll get off that bandwagon right now. Everybody have a safe 4th of July, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Higgins.
Thank you. I'd like to remind everybody this is cruise weekend, and I'm sure Maureen will be talking more about the, Councilman Tobin will be talking more about the bands that goes on, but there's going to be a band Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all at the band show. Come on up, have a good time. I'd like to remind everybody, please leave your dogs at home, but other than that, come and have a good time. The bands this year have been great, and the crowds have been great. I just come out and have a good time. The class of 1981 has asked me to announce they're having a reunion at the, I can never remember the name of the hall next to the Park Restaurant.
Ecourse.
The Ecourse Hall. And it'll be on Saturday from 5 to 11. Come out, class of 81, have a good time. It's already been brought up by our council president, but I'm going to bring it up again. I've asked several times for the meetings that the emergency group is having, if I could have something from the meetings to tell me what they're talking about. We've got nothing. We have tonight approved 5 block parties. We're allowing Lincoln Park Days to happen. We're allowing all the concerts to happen with hundreds of people showing up. The schools are in session with kids 30 to a classroom. They're there. The senior programs are starting back up. There is no reason we cannot have council meetings in session. If we could separate people here, we can have them wear masks. It is time to bring the public back in. And I'm very upset that it's not happening. And I guess that's all I've got for tonight, but I am not happy. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Councilwoman Tobin.
Good evening, everybody. I'm going to touch on the Downriver Cruise Weekend, like Mike said. I think he's a rhyme reader. So we start out Thursday night with the Santana Project, and these guys are very talented. So if you can't come out and see them, they'll be there from 7 to 9. On Friday, the event opens at 5 o'clock. There will be vendors, crafters, some food trucks. On the stage, we have the opening act, Weekend Comeback, which is an acoustic duo out of Sterling Heights. And then at 8 o'clock, we will have Infinity and Beyond, the Journey Tribute. On Saturday, we open about 11 o'clock. We have DJ Keo there from 12 to 3. The bands start again at 5:30 on Saturday with Fire and Ice, a Pat Benatar tribute. And after that, we have Detroit Rock City Kiss Tribute, which is one of everybody's favorites. We've got some really nice vendors and crafters. We've got Norman Catering for food. We've got Downriver Dogs, and we were lucky enough to secure the Auburn Cafe food truck. So come on down and check them out. It's going to be fabulous. Still looking for applications for Art in the Park. That weekend, we have 50 Amp Fuse on Friday and Crazy Babies on Saturday. Also, Chit from Scott Randall from WRIL will be performing. We need more vendors and crafters and food, but we always need more vendors, crafters, and food. Mystery Escapes has opened in the Lincoln Park Plaza, which is an escape room. And the gentleman who opened it has been working hard for a very, very long time to make this an exceptional venue to go to. So please go check it out. I also want to say I've been attending the DDA meetings, and there are some really wonderful things going to be happening in our downtown area. So if you get a chance, get on a DDA meeting. They're looking for people to chair committees. It's time to bring Lincoln Park back, and they are working very hard to make great things happen. And in closing, I need to thank Chief Martin and the fire department for coming to my house 2 Fridays ago. My husband had a medical emergency, and they came in and basically saved his life. And I am grateful, and their professionalism and their caring and everything that they did will never be forgotten, and I am grateful for them, and they do a wonderful job. So thank you, LPFD, for everything you've done for us. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Councilwoman Ross.
Thank you, Your Honor. So the official opening of the museum to the public will be Saturday, June the 26th from 1 to 6 p.m. And then they return to regular hours of Wednesdays and Saturdays from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. They also sent out their spring-summer newsletter, and if you didn't receive one, please go to their website at www.lphistorical.org and you can view it there. I would like to thank Leah Dumichel for all her service to us and wish her much success. Thank you again, Leah. I also want to thank my son Tony and his colleagues at DTE in Process Controls and Technology for all their hard work spreading 240 yards of mulch at our Quant Park playground on Wednesday, June 16th. If I could tell you that when I saw what 240 yards of mulch looked like, I was overwhelmed. But in DTE style, with strength in numbers and nothing is impossible mindset, they worked through with such kindness and left us with an absolutely beautiful result. So thank you again to our DTE volunteers. And that's all I have, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Councilwoman Dupre.
Evening. I have a few things. We did discuss garage sale last meeting for September, or we said in the fall. So I will be writing a resolution and turning it into the city clerk for that. I've been having a lot of complaints, and I made a comment probably 6 weeks ago about the garbage and trash in the city. And it seems like everywhere you look, it's just a mess. And some people are becoming complacent, which is not okay. And we need to look at options for cleaning up the city because it is a mess. Reminder, fireworks are not legal right now. We do have days that they are legal, and this kind of ties into it. We've been having a lot of lost dogs lately. So people, it's been windy. Please check your fences, your gates before you let your dogs out, because we're seeing a lot of activity. I've also been contacted by many citizens about the fast driving and or racing up and down Dix and Fort Street in particular. I did contact the chief of police, and he did tell me that he was aware of one complaint. So my advice to citizens is, please, if you want something done, you need to call and make them aware. Because if they're not aware, they can't help. And that's all for me tonight. Good night and God bless.
Thank you, ma'am. Councilman Kelsey.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll make it short. I want to thank all the people who volunteered to help do the parks. There was a lot of people that were out trying to do things, and I'm sure the Ecourse cleanup is going to be just as successful, as it has been in the past. And I'm glad to see there's 2 dates. It's always nice to get out there and pick up some of the trash. And in closing, I'd like to say the same thing, is that, you know, the residents contact the council people, and I think that's great. But when the council people sometimes contact the vendors or contact the city hall, the management, they tell us nobody complains. So I have to echo the same thing that Councilwoman Tracy Dupre said. If you got a complaint, call. I mean, you may not think that's going to be important, but they record that. They're required to record that. In one of those instances, is like the city manager was talking with GFL. I'm glad to hear they're back to normal. They've been having a lot of complaints and a lot of manpower issues, and I'm glad to hear they straightened it out, because that's a lot of issues that I've seen from people complaining about is GFL, from broken cans to garbage not being picked up to construction sites where the garbage is supposed to be put out so they can get it and they can't get it. So I would say if you got a complaint, don't keep it on yourself. Don't get upset. Just make a phone call. That's all you got to do. The numbers are on the city's website. You can call and complain and leave your complaint, and somebody will look into it. And to everybody, I hope you have a good night. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. I want to tell everyone happy July 4th, and please be mindful of the fireworks when they are illegal at that point. They can be fun, but to others they are a very serious nuisance, especially those that have dogs that go crazy over them. I have one of those dogs myself. Leah Dumichel has been here for several years, working as a contractor for us. The work that she has done has been phenomenal. And working with John Myers and everyone involved in putting the master plan together, and the work and the development with all the different committees and things that she has served on. I know that there's a meeting that they have every Thursday, developmental meeting, that she has been very instrumental in, and she will be very sorely missed. So we just wish her the best of luck, and we unfortunately have to move on. And with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Support.
Okay, then.
I've only heard one objection.
All right, clerk, call the roll.
Councilperson Salcido?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Higgins?
Yes.
Kelsey?
Yes.
Ross? Yes. Tobin?
Yes.
And Mayor Carnes.
Yes. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.